What's going on, friends, friends, and thramly? It is yet another glorious day here in the United States of Siege, and there is so much to unpack. But before we get into it, let's remember that Minnesota is still under siege. Just because the press coverage has waned a bit doesn't mean that the peril is any less real. All reports from Minneapolis are that people are still living in fear. ICE agents are still terrorizing the populace, and just because they took away the name and maybe pulled a few agents doesn't mean a fucked up government hasn't changed its tactics. Just keep that in the back of your heads as we honor the memories of Keith Porter, Renee Good, and Alex Preddy. Now, that being said, let's talk about what's on everyone's mind, the state of the motherfucking union. Last night, Cheeto Pennywise took to the stage and to the cameras and monopolized airtime for right around 2 hours to spew, you guessed it, bullshit and propaganda. I mean, two things he's relatively good at, right? I mean, the shit part, y'all already know. Anyways, in the midst of this 2-hour-long tirade, or near 2-hour-long tirade, Trump touted the strength of the economy, how America's entering a golden age, that basically America is, back hotter than ever type of thing, right? First of all, no one knows what the fuck that means anyways, except we know that all of this, if it came out of his mouth, is patently untrue. In fact, fact-checking by two different journalistic organizations, one of which, I'm looking at you, New York Times, has their credibility kind of in question right now with their articles about pedophilia. Different discussion altogether. But anyways, independent fact-checking showed that basically there was only one verifiably true claim as to that he made in the entire speech. So in 2 hours, one truth. He also padded the speech with handing out the Medal of Honor, congressional medals to a hockey player, had Team USA men's hockey there because the women got a much better offer, by the way. In fact, courtesy of Flavor Flav, any medaling female Olympian, right? And they were given the ultimate prize. They get to party in Vegas, courtesy of Flavor Flav, courtesy of casinos, airlines, and all these other brands that are coming together to support women, right? Because end of the day, yes, fucking celebrate our Olympians, overcome rampant misogyny, and give a middle finger. Because Team USA Hockey, they got to sit at the State of the Union. Ooh. And they got a meal with Cheeto Pennywise, which consisted of something being catered by McDonald's while being subjected to Lee Greenwood music. I don't know about y'all, but I'd be rather get a root canal with no fucking Novocaine for 5 hours listening to off-key yodeling and, I don't know, polka being played in reverse. That's just me. Now, other noteworthy things about the State of the Union. A large number of the Democratic reps didn't show up. Now, those who didn't show up invited special guests to sit in their stead, like a multitude of Epstein victims. Yeah, or people who've been terrorized by ICE. Now, conveniently enough, guess what two topics didn't come up during his State of the Union address? Two of the things that could be immediately kind of fact-checked and course-corrected just by, I don't know, facial expressions amongst the crowd. Yeah, didn't acknowledge the Epstein survivors at all. Didn't acknowledge the DHS failings or ICE's violence or continued war of terror against the American populace. However, was not going to go unchecked. Points to Ilhan Omar for stepping up and vocally shouting out, "You are killing Americans," because he is. But that's also because, if we hadn't noticed, he doesn't give a fuck about any of us. That being said, the absence of Epstein-related content is super telling given what else is occurring this week. And I, myself, have my heart set on what's going to come out of the Clintons being forced to testify regarding the Epstein files. Because at this point, you got Bill and Hillary on the same page with absolutely no fucks left to give. So that said, as we await this with bated breath, we stand with the survivors. We believe Sasha. We believe Virginia. We believe Amanda. And more importantly, we believe our outrage, right? We trust our guts. But as the news gets more and more absurd on a daily basis, all it is a constant daily reminder to rise the fuck